Hello and welcome to Charity's Treasures. Excuse me, I'm a mess today. I've been out in the rain most of the morning, but I've had this in my head for the last 4 or 5 days and I just need to get it out even though I don't have time because I'm kind of living in 2 different places. Anyways, I have to talk about this. So I'm going to share this today. Candace not only lies, but she also bears false witness. Okay. Is Mitt Romney a criminal or a hero? Candace thinks he's a criminal and will bear false witness and lie to have this idea fit her narrative. Okay. So Candace thinks she knows the truth, right? For some reason, Candace is trying to bring the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints into a connection with the Charlie Kirk assassination. It's like she just hates the church or something. So she's trying to find something to connect it. In order, though, to connect truth, you must actually know the truth. Candace doesn't know the truth about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So when she's trying to connect information about the church to other material in the world, the information doesn't coincide because what she's saying about the church isn't true, or she is giving partial information to the public to fit her desired narrative. Candace is good at connecting evil, right? But she doesn't seem so good at connecting good and spiritual. Mitt Romney is Mormon royalty. This is a quote from her, right? Candace said, as a truth, this is what she's saying, as a truth, that Mitt Romney is considered Mormon royalty to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She lies yet again. Mitt Romney is not Mormon royalty. We don't have Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint royalty. It's not even a thing. We have prophets and apostles. We have leaders, but we do not consider them royalty, nor has anyone in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints ever said that our leaders are royalty. I've never heard that in my entire life. Candace says a lot of things, and the words she uses are deceiving sometimes. She is so misinformed about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and thinks she knows a lot about it. It just makes me think about all of the other things she says that she thinks she's informed about that maybe she's really not. And in the process is giving us misinformation. She says she has reliable sources and we should trust her because they are solid sources. But the sources she has helping her gain information about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are sources that know nothing about the church because they're always feeding her lies and partial truths. She says a lot of things about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that are just thrown out there. But there's no context to it. She can never complete the idea when she's talking about the church. So it makes me think, is she really studying these other things that she's investigating to the full extent so she can understand them before she talks about them in order for us to fully understand them and believe that they are true? It just makes me question her morality in talking about things that she doesn't understand, thinking she does, all the while feeding us information that is partially true and complete false, creating paths of false deductions and confusion to her followers. This is spreading falsities in many ways because she says things about people and organizations that she doesn't completely understand, and it misinforms people and causes them to think negative things about these people or organizations without her fully doing her homework. Bearing false witness, a commandment. I think this, in many ways, is her bearing false witness. Candace lies about the church, but she also bears false witness about the church. And I feel like if she's doing this about the church, what other things is she doing it about? Because she doesn't thoroughly investigate the things that she is talking about. I think this is going to be a hindrance to her success in her future. It might get her popularity in the present, but because she's not thorough in her work, I think it's going to hurt her in the long run. Warning, Candace. If she continues along this path, I don't think she's going to be as effective in getting the truth about Charlie's case as she would if she actually thoroughly did her homework. Wikipedia. You can't go on Wikipedia and get the correct information. I never use Wikipedia. When I was in college, I had to create a post on Wikipedia. It was about Joseph Smith, and I had to put some information in there that had to be accepted by Wikipedia. But I also saw much information as I was doing this project that was wrong. A lot of information was wrong on Wikipedia. Even the post that I was adding to it because there was a lot of wrong information. Anyone can really go on Wikipedia and publish something, and that something might not always be true or accurate. Those of you who have published on Wikipedia, you know what I'm talking about, right? If Candace really wants, and I don't know if she got her information on Wikipedia, but she does mention Wikipedia a lot. If Candace really wants to know information about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or if anybody else does, you just need to go on our website. All the information is there. You want accurate information? Go on our website, churchofjesuschrist.org. Ooh, really hard to find, isn't it? Okay. Anyways, using words like royalty and things like that are not truth. It is not truth. Members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints do not use those words. And we do not think that our leaders are royalty. It is bearing false witness. It seems like Candace, who wants to keep the commandments, is doing a lot of things that are not really in accordance with keeping the commandments. She lies, and now she is bearing false witness. When Candace continues to bear false witness, she will soon be left off the real path. When we're not being accurate as much as we can be, and when we are consistently making false accusations, we cannot and will not be walking on the path that will lead us to truth. If Candace keeps doing this, she will be let off the path. And then she will find herself in a place where she knows nothing, a place where God stops revealing information to her. Mitt Romney's mission. She brings up the random story. She's trying to get Mitt Romney in this connection to Bibi Netanyahu, and she's trying to act like Mitt Romney's this bad, horrible guy, right? Which I don't know if he is. Doesn't matter. This isn't what I'm talking about today. But so she brings up that he was on a mission in France when he was a missionary. He was in an accident when he was on this mission where someone died, the mission president's wife, and he was seriously injured. The mission president was seriously injured, and so was Mitt Romney. The person that hit him and the people in the car that killed the mission president's wife was a Catholic priest. You didn't mention that, did you, Candace? She brings up this story indicating that Mitt was responsible for the accident, which would lead to the possibility of him being involved somehow in the Charlie Kirk assassination and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as she links Mitt to being royalty in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She's creating this narrative that is false. It is a total lie and a falsehood that she is saying. Why don't we talk about that, Candace? Why don't we talk about the priest that actually killed somebody? Why don't we talk about why a Catholic priest hit an entire car full of members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? You're not going to talk about that, are you, Candace? No, because it was a Catholic priest. Mitt Romney has never held a prominent position in the church. When he got into this accident, he had to help the mission president and stepped in for a little bit because the mission president was severely injured, but he has never been a mission president with his wife, nor has he been in the 70 or in any other high-ranking church position. So I am not sure where you're getting the idea that we consider him royalty or even anyone of importance in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because he's never held a high position, which doesn't make him unimportant to the church. He's held positions, which all positions are important. Some of the things that he has done as callings in the church are he was a missionary, he was a bishop, he was a stake president, and he was a Sunday school teacher. He has not been in a calling where he had a lot of influence and leadership over a mass amount of people in the church. I am going to give everyone a couple different accounts that I found of this accident, because Candace doesn't thoroughly do her work, or she does, but she just doesn't want to tell everybody what the actual facts are. True facts concerning the car crash. The priest, the Catholic priest involved in the 1968 car crash with Mitt Romney in France was Albert Marie, a Catholic priest from the village of Cyril. I'm going to be saying all these names wrong, but Romney, who was serving a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and serving as an assistant to the mission president, was driving the church leaders near Bordeaux when Albert Marie's car crossed the center line and hit them head on. He hit them. The Catholic priest hit them. Details of the incident. The crash, the head-on collision, occurred on June 16, 1968, in the village of Barnos-Boloc. Witnesses allege that you can go on my Substack and read what they actually say because I can't read the words. Albert Marie was inebriated at the time of the accident. Do you know what that word means, Candace? Inebriated. Do you know what that means? It means he was drunk. The Catholic priest was drunk, Candace. Okay. The mission president's wife, Leola Anderson, that's her name, Candace. That's who was killed. And it wasn't Mitt Romney who killed her. She was killed instantly. Romney suffered a severe concussion and a fractured arm. And one policeman initially mistook him for dead and wrote on his passport, "He is dead." Following the accident, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints did not pursue legal action against Marie, the priest, to avoid a potential conflict between the Catholic Church and the French government. They're trying to make peace. That's what our church does, Candace. But you wouldn't know about that because you think they're evil, right? Okay, this is another account. The priest, Father Albert Marie, was never charged with a crime and died years later as a free man after the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the victims declined to pursue legal action. The fatal June 1968 crash in France, which severely injured Mitt Romney and mission president Dwayne Anderson and killed the mission president's wife, involved the following events regarding to the priest. Father Albert Marie was driving a Mercedes that crossed the center line, hitting Romney's car head on while passing a truck. Witnesses at the scene reported that Father Marie appeared inebriated, but the claim was never formally confirmed or persecuted. Why is that? Because the Church of Jesus Christ, the mission president, and Mitt Romney did not want to embarrass the priest. That's what I think. And they didn't want it to be a big spectacle because that's what the church does. They don't create big spectacles and they forgive. Okay, the mission president refused to press charges, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints did not pursue civil action to avoid diplomatic or religious clash with the French government and the Catholic Church. Father Marie lived out the remainder of his life in Cyril region of France, where he eventually passed away as the area's former pastor. Candace had to have known the truth about this story, but she didn't reveal it. The thing is, Candace, you had to have known what really happened in this story because any account that I read, which there was a lot of accounts, said the same exact thing. So you had to have known what really happened in this story with Mitt Romney, but you chose to bear false witness and indicate that he was the one responsible so that Mitt Romney would fit into the agenda that you were trying to sell about him, that he would fit into the narrative that you wanted millions of people to believe, Candace. You bore false witness to millions of people in the world. I don't know if Mitt Romney is involved in any corruption, but that story of him being in an accident, you wanted to make it sound like he was the bad guy when actually he turned out to be the good guy. Mitt Romney, the mission president, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints turned out to be the heroes, the ones that didn't persecute the Catholic priests because they forgave. So I wonder if sometimes, Candace, you bear false witness so it will fit the story you're trying to sell. If you keep lying and bearing false witness, Candace, eventually you're going to fall. I think I'm coming to understand more about what those dreams I had of you and Charlie were about. And I believe that God has some humbling experiences for you to go through before you're fully ready for what he has planned for you, which I do think is to help the world. But you're not ready yet, Candace. You have a lot of growth yet to reach. So he can give you such great responsibilities as people in the world assume you might receive. Right now, Candace, you are not a David. You are definitely not Charlie's David because you lie and bear false witness about the true church of God. Bye, everybody.